I know what you're thinking. New sweatshirt. Ha. Yep, I got my hair cut. I don't like it because I keep looking at it. When I first walked out, I was like, "Oh, this sucks," but I just saw it and I think it's better. I can't tell. I don't know if I like it or not. I kind of want it shorter on the top. I don't like having it super long. I got the new guy. I got the newest, freshest blood. The 2 years into cutting hair, somehow working at Astor Place Hair. I don't know how he got that job. If you don't know, Astor Place is like super famous. Has a bunch of like old people who are just legend at cutting hair. Every time I've gone, it's been good. This guy, he was probably 25. Not great. Not great at all. He spent like 25 minutes just with like the side of my head and then like 5 minutes with the top. Like it's usually inverse. Usually, you know. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. I was thinking about going back this morning and being like, "Don't love it. Fix the top." You'll see tomorrow. I don't know what I'm doing, but you'll find out tomorrow. Um, yep. I had this thought in New York City, in just New York City. I think Asian old ladies are mythical creatures. Now, bear with me. The only you have to be like over 65 and an Asian lady in New York City, and you default, you're just one of two beings. You're someone who goes through trash and grabs like the bottles and cans. That's like 80% of the old Asian ladies. Or you're an old Asian lady with one of those like carts that just wheel around and they just walk everywhere purposely slow to get you mad. Those are the only two Asian ladies in New York City. There's no like, if you're over 65, you just like morph into one of those two. That's it. Um, that's that was just a thought I had because I keep seeing these people going through our trash outside and they're always 60-year-old, 65-year-old Asian old ladies, you know. Yeah, that's that. That's a lot. That was just food for thought. Um the shooter was caught. Um Turned out to be like a 26, 7-year-old genius, Penn University of Penn coding guy. At what point does it hurt you, Penn, to have not only the guy who did the assassination, but he got caught. And not only did he get caught, he was sloppy. He was sloppy. You know, got caught in the McDonald's, had the bag on him with the gun, a manifesto apparently. Like, if it was a Columbia graduate, all I'm saying is he's leaving that backpack in Times Square or Central Park. That's all I'm saying. But he wasn't. He was a Penn graduate. So now he's gonna be in jail for the rest of his life. If he was a real Ivy League good student, he wouldn't have killed someone. He just would have worked harder in life. But okay, too soon. Sorry. Okay. We'll move on. We'll move on. I have had zero progress in the last 24 hours towards comedy and then product, which for me right now is electrolytes. That's all right. I am enjoying. It's okay because I say it's okay, but I should be doing a bit more. Um, I said this to the CEO of our company yesterday. He was like, "Oh, what'd you do in the weekend?" And I was like, "Not as much as I'd like to." And he's like, "Oh, don't hold yourself at such high standards. You do that all the time." I'm like, "Yeah, I do, but without high standards, what do you get? A CEO killer. That's what you get." No, um, I don't know. I just try to push. It's funny. I sent this to like people yesterday, so now I'm thinking as if it's like an audience. But before I would just ramble and ramble, but now I'm overthinking what I need to say. Um, yeah. Okay. I went to the gym today. I like my gym. Like I don't want to leave it cuz the quality of gym and like everyone who goes is also like I'm like this by far the smallest, skinniest. The guys are all just jacked. The girls are pretty and fit. It's nice to see. You don't get that at the YMCA in upstate New York. I'll tell you that. You get pure big old dudes who are walking laps and 70-year-old ladies who are like, "Oh, hey." It's nice, but we're tired of that puss. Okay. Ooh, sports is a funny topic. I talked about this a bit recently, but I don't I used to love basketball, football, nah, not really football, but basketball, soccer. I just don't care anymore. Like, I just don't. Like, woohoo, I think this might be a bit high. Whoever wins, wins. Maybe that's too low now. Anyway, um, like, I was in Puerto Rico working for a current company W, and the Celtics won, and they've been my team. But I missed it because I was busy doing something to me that was bigger. And then in that moment, I was like, oh, yeah, sports don't matter. Like, they only matter as much as you make them matter. Like, you could never pay attention and none of it matters. But I guess it's like a free time succulent. That might not, succulent's the wrong word. A succulent's a little plant. That's definitely the wrong word. It's a free time. It's a time suck. It is a black hole of time that is not rewarding unless you are the one fan of the team that wins. Um, so yeah, I have been, but then like I'm a McLaren fan for F1, but that's an hour and a half a week maximum because I don't watch like practices. I just watch the race. Sometimes I'll watch like qualifying, but that's usually highlights. But so it's like not 2 hour and a half is low. It's like 2.5 hours probably average race time, and then yeah. So it's like I'm not putting like 6 hours a week into every football game, like sitting. Yeah, I don't know. Sports are interesting because I'm trying to think about where their position is in my life. Like, I like playing them, but that's about it. Um, I really don't know what to talk about. Steve Jobs. Let's talk about him. I think that would be, yeah. Let me regurgitate some information. If you have cancer, don't just eat drink carrot juice. First pro tip. Don't do that. Chemotherapy would probably work better than carrot juice. Hindsight, though, you know, maybe Mr. Jobs is looking down right now, being like, "That guy knows. Don't do the carrot juice. Look where I'm at. Just do the chemo and the surgery." Yeah, don't do that. Dude was smart though, a jerk, but very smart. I think when it comes to like positioning yourself in a company and being that dominant, what has Apple done post Steve Jobs? The Watch and the Vision Pro? Yikes. Not much is what I would say. I would say not much. Okay, maybe this is a short one. I was excited to do this today because I told people about it, but I just don't have anything to talk about. I'm trying to think what happened yesterday. Nothing, just worked, and then I came home, had dinner, worked, bed, went out, came back, bed. I didn't work between that, but yep. Um, I don't know what to talk about. Oh, so I jumping back to the gym. I'm at the point where I'm like skinny big, not like big. Sleeper build. That's the correct terminology. Is sleeper build, and I think my roommate's up, and I can hear him filling up the water bottle. I don't know what time it is. 6:46. Early for him. He's peeing. Quality stream. Sounds a bit light. Not consistent. It's over. Pee's done. Flush complete. No hand wash. Straight door shut, back in his room. That's the play-by-play. I have like sleeper build right now, which is like fun and nice. Like in any shirt, unless I'm shirtless, I look tiny. I have like super small wrists, so that's okay. But then when I take off my shirt, I'm like toned. It's nice. I enjoy it. I enjoy being more than meets the eye with the shirt on. Okay. Um, Oh, this is new. This will be a long topic. Um, Girls. Whoa. So my friend and I were talking to girls at bars, and you go up to them. If you gauge their interest instantly, if they're not interested, you go next. You know, you don't just sit there and be like, you just go next. Um, and then there's this girl who I have found attractive and I wanted to DM, and I haven't DM'd. So I ended up DMing her. I'd never do this. I'm not a DM guy. I'm not sliding. No Riz in the DMs. I'm great at carrying a text conversation, but DM game, zero. So swipe. You can post on a story, which is something that's 24 hours. Then it expires. You can't ever see it again. Um, for those, over who don't use social media. And I swiped up on her story, which means like, I typed on it and replied to it. And then long story short, it went nowhere. Two, one, me, her, dead. Like conversation dead. Um and I was thinking about this, and my issue with DMs is this is the product Kale coming out is there's no instant feedback loop. It's like you send a DM, it's just sitting there on ice. They could see it, just the preview of it. They could read half the full thing if it's short enough, and they could just sit on it for hours and hours and then toss a message back to you, and then you could sit on it for hours and hours. There's no instant response. The feedback loop takes too long, and it has people overthinking the message, what they type, especially definitely me. Like in an ideal world, it's like, oh, send the message. If she's on the phone, she has like 5 minutes to respond, or it disappears and she never knows. Well, not even that. No, not that she disappears, but I think like dating app wise, if this was a dating app I was on, it should be like, if you send someone a message on Tinder or Hinge or whatever, it should be like, if they're on the app, they have to respond. They can't just hold your message hostage and you just sitting there on the other side like, oh, are they going to, like, they have to respond, or like you're just not a person. That should be it. Maybe that's a thing. Maybe it's not. I know there's another app right now where you can only match with one person at a time and you have to unmatch with people, the one person to get another one. And like, if that had an instant feedback loop of like, when you're in the app, you have to be responding. Like, you can't be like perusing, but I guess, yeah, there's that feedback loop, I think, in the DM world is why I don't do that. Like, I haven't DM'd a girl like ever. I did once about a year ago because I was peer pressured into it, and she lied and said she had a boyfriend, which was nice because I wasn't really interested at all, like at all. So it ended up working out, and that's not me just like coping or being like, no, I wasn't interested and she rejected me. This one I wasn't. The one I DM'd yesterday kind of sucks, but it's whatever. You go next. You can't win them all, and it's way easier to talk to people in person. Way easier, but not for my friend though. Not for my friend. He asked the girl about the blonde hair if it was real or not. That was okay. Next book I think I'm going to read is Atomic Habits. Sean keeps telling me about it. Coworker, friend, like, it's helping me a lot. I've been doing this and this, and I think I'm disciplined, but I don't have great habits. Well, I guess that's discipline versus habits. Let's think this through. Discipline is consistently doing something and getting yourself to do it, like you're disciplined. And then a habit is that I'm disciplined in some senses, but not others. So I want to build other good habits. I don't know. Anyway, so that is what I will be doing. That'll be the next book I read / audiobook. I got to figure out. And then the CEO of our company said he was going to send me like 2 audiobooks for my birthday. I never got them, which is fine. And maybe I maybe they take shipping time to deliver to my Audible account. I don't know. But it was last Friday. I haven't gotten them, but I would like to read them. And do I poke and prod them? I'm not gonna. Oh, this is funny because this is another thing. I'm just gonna put this out there. Just because it's over. Like, it is closed, and I'm not expecting this anymore. But when we first launched we We were in Puerto Rico, and there was like this guessing game we played, and it was like whoever guesses the closest to one of these three, each winner is gonna get $1,000. And it was followers in 24 hours, the views on our launch video on YouTube in 24 hours, and then sales in our first 24 hours. And I got our YouTube views like closest by like 10,000 or something. And so I won $1,000. And the other two people were like Jake Paul's like closer on his team directly, so they're not working with W, but they're just his friends, and they won the other 1,000. So I don't know if they ever got the 1,000. They probably didn't because they don't need the money like I would appreciate the money. And so the 1,000 never came my way. And like a month and a half later, we're in Tampa, and I just butchered it. I ruined it. I was telling Sean about this. I'm like, yeah, they never get. He's like, oh, just bring it up. Like, I bet Woody totally would. Woody's the CEO. I'm like, yeah, you're right. And I just fumbled. I timed it so bad. We were hanging out, and there's a punch machine punching Jake, and one of our investors is there, and he says, oh, we should do a competition where the winner of this gets money. I am so dumb thinking, I was like, maybe not. And he looks at me, and like the other guys weren't really paying attention. And I'm like, I was told that the last competition was like, this is what I was told by two employees who no longer work for us, which I think is so funny. But they told me, it relayed to me that money was just done, never coming my way. And I was like, oh, I was told like that competition was just for fun. And, the promise wasn't going to be held up. And he was like, oh, like instantly got mad. And I was like, oh no, here we go. He's like, who said that? Pushed them both under the bus. No, I said one of them. And then he was like, no, they don't know what they're talking about. Because I mentioned the conversation we had, but pushed really one of them under the bus. Like, they don't know what they're talking about. And then I'm never bringing it up again. That $1,000 is not real. But I just think it's so funny how I messed it up for me so bad that I don't deserve it anymore. It was bad timing. It wasn't like right in front of like the investors, but it was just like me. And then like Sean was there over my shoulder, and he was like, and walked away. So I messed that up, which stinks. $1,000 could go a long way right now for me, but lesson learned. You got to be tactical in your timing. That's the lesson. You can't just be like, yeah, that was like an immature Kale moment, and they've been happening fewer and fewer over the past 4 years. Like, it used to be like one a month in the work world, where I'm like, oh, that's not the most, and now it's like, I'm like one every 4 months. I'm like, been working for W for almost 6. I think I'm 2 deep right now. So that's one every 3 months, which isn't bad. And now what you're thinking, what is the other immature moment? I don't know, but I think there is one. I'll think about it and get back to you. But I think I have 2 moments where I'm like cringing at, like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. And the money in that moment was one of them, and I don't know what the other one was. I don't know what it was. But anyway, that's that. That was a good conversation. Good work, guys and girls. And others. Nice. It's a fun company to work for. It's like W. Do I have it anywhere? Haha. Look at me. So branded. So proud. No. It's a fun company to work for. Stuff moves quick, which is cool. And I feel like I said this before, I feel like I'm not making the impact on like the huge moments that like I wish I did. But then our Woody CEO on Friday, him and I had a good hour-long conversation. I don't know can I say that? Like, is that just, I don't know. Is this confidentiality? Don't know. But anyway, just go, you do have a way bigger impact than you know. And they want to start leveraging me more. That's cool. I'm going to turn into a lever. Lever. As I ram, I say dumb stuff when I don't know what to talk about. Yeah. This is gonna be so many cuts, so I'm gonna end this. I'm not gonna. Damn it. Okay. My socks are all cold. That's my last. They're all like low quality socks, so my foot heat escapes them. Do with that what you will. Nice. Okay. Well, thanks for tuning in to this chaotic little powwow. Peace.